All right, folks. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. We're coming to you live from the ballroom of the Monrovia City Hall. And this morning, His Excellency President Boakai will join several stakeholders, international financial stakeholders, in the country's banking sector to formally launch this morning the official launch of the National Financial Education and the rollout of the Pan-African Payment Settlement System. And this is being done by the Central Bank of Liberia and the governor of the Central Bank and the Minister of Finance here in the ballroom of the Monrovia City Hall. And so wherever you're watching us from, any moment from now, you will see the arrival of His Excellency, the President, to grace this occasion. I mean, this is a huge jump in the country's financial system. This is a process that is being embraced by the African continent. In fact, it's also going to entail the rollout of the Pan-African Payment System. And this system is going to be regional, where Liberians can also be able to carry out financial activities besides the financial transactions with other African countries across the region. So as you can see, all right, so there you have it. His Excellency the President arriving here in the ballroom of the Monrovia City Hall to attend the official launch of the National Financial Education System. All right, there you have His Excellency the President. He has just arrived here in the ballroom of the Monrovia City Hall, and he will have a seat. All right, so seated right by him, His Excellency is the governor of the Central Bank of Liberia. From here, right, so His Excellency the President is already here. He's already seated. So we're going to go straight to the program now. And right here is Mr. Cyrus Kokowule Badio. He is the MC for today's event. So let's join Mr. Badio. He is the head of communications at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So folks,
good morning to you all, and good morning especially to His Excellency. The Central Bank of Liberia official launch of the National Financial Education Program, FINED, and rollout of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System here at the Monrovia City Hall Ballroom, March 27, 2025, and also the launch of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS. Before we go any further, let's invoke the blessings of God, and we welcome our man from the Regulation and Supervision Department, Mr. General Luaba. Mr. Luaba, please come and give us a word of prayer. Thank you.
Standing on the SSC program, I will read Proverbs chapter 3, verse 68. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. May we now just rise up and lift our hearts unto the Lord and invite His presence. And this launch, because accept the Lord builds a house. They that good beautiful thing. Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, our hope for years to come, our shelter from the stormy blast, our nation's foundation and cornerstone. We thank you this morning and we give you praise. We thank you for the lives and souls, Lord, that you have gathered in this morning. We pray for your grace. We pray for your protection. We now, O God, commit this program into your hands. We commit the system into your hands, Father. We pray, O God, for its success as we strive for regional integration. We pray, O Father, for internal harmony. We pray that we be reconciled one ye to another. We thank you. We bless you now in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the blessed Holy Spirit. Amen and amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tenidai Luaba. He's from the Central Bank of Liberia and he works in the Supervision Regulations Department. Before we go any further, we want to open the floor, not necessarily open the floor, but these are invite to the podium. The Deputy Governor for Economic Policy at the Central Bank of Liberia, Dr. Musa Dukle, he will make the welcome remarks. Dr. Dukle.
Excellency, Dr. Hussein Marker, President of the Republic of Liberia, the Chairman of the Committee on Banking, Senator Senate, the Chairman of the Committee on Banking, Senator Williams, also represented, distinguished member of the Council Representative Senate, Executive Governor, and members of the Board of the Central Bank of Liberia, Minister of Finance, the representative of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, special delegates in the party. Today we are honored by the presence of His Excellency, Dr. Jose Yuma Barker, President of the Republic of Liberia, development partners, and all special guests as we launch two transformative initiatives, the Pan-African Payment System and Liberia Educational Program. This moment marks a new chapter in Liberia's financial sector development, where the financial education and digital initiatives are being prioritized with the aim of promoting inclusive economic growth. As the saying goes, an economy is only as strong as the financial literacy of its people. It is in this context that the Central Bank of Liberia, headed by Executive Governor Henry F. Samoa, remains committed to equipping underprivileged population with limited access to financial services with the financial knowledge needed to make informed decisions that improve livelihood and strengthen our economy. At the same time, PAPS is a game changer for trade and financial stability. By enabling cross-border payments in local currency, PAP reduces reliance on third-party currencies, especially the US dollar in the context of Liberia, and helps to stabilize exchange rate through the promotion of gradual de-dollarization and lower transaction costs, making trade between Liberia and other African countries faster, cheaper, and more efficient. More importantly, PAP has a strong potential to accelerate the journey towards a single African currency through an evolutionary process, fostering deeper economic integration across Africa. Liberia is at the forefront of this financial transformation, and today's launch is a testament to our collective commitment to modernizing payment system, enhancing financial inclusion, and strengthening our monetary system. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of the Central Bank of Liberia, I respectfully wish to happily welcome His Excellency to this launch. I also take this opportunity to welcome the representative of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. Of course, should have been done by Professor Orama, who could not come due to some unavailable circumstances, but represented by Dr. Ovalo. take this time to welcome you to Liberia at this launch and also take the opportunity to welcome all distinguished guests joining us for this milestone occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dukme. Let's give him another round of applause, please. I'm your master of ceremony, Cyrus Ulanbadio. Along with me is my brother and friend,
Joseph Khalid, still people being named for the before I go further, I just want to see my Muslim brothers and again remember your fasting. This will be a Muslim brother because of also. So I would like to say Ramadan will be here. And happy Ramadan to maybe you will not see me, but we can. Then before I leave it, I want to say, Mr. President, how is that? From the blog. Okay. So every day, Mr. President, send them my people, Muslim people fasting. That's the best time you get any people that have problem selling in the You know why you send it? But when you send it there, when you go to the nobody will not fasting again. Cabinet, they will assume back and be busy on the program. They do what they want to do, basically. So you tell what they do, they tell what they do, but they don't problem. And we do that, we go on a bad more. So now they want to go there. I like analysis.
all right, we now have an overview of the program. You'll be hearing more of that as the program evolves. The communications department has been working feverishly along with the payment systems department at the central bank to make sure that the program that you're witnessing today comes to fruition. And one of those who's been behind the scenes and been working with the payment department is the director of the department, Mr. P. Alfonso Zin. He's the chair of the Government of Liberia Steering Committee on Financial Education. It gives me the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to now welcome to the stage Councillor P. Alfonso Zin for an overview of financial education. Councillor Zin, please give me a big hand.
Thank you, Mr. Your Excellency Joseph N. Boakai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, officials of government, the Executive Governor and members of the Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia, heads of commercial banks, the Chief Executive Officer of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, members of the legislature, members of the diplomatic corps, representatives of international partners, members of the private sector, colleagues of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Financial education means giving people the knowledge and skills they need to manage their finances well. The efforts to deliver financial education to the people of Liberia began when the Central Bank of Liberia, with technical assistance from the World Bank Group, produced a financial sector development implementation plan. The FSDIP is to help guide financial sector reform efforts in Liberia. It contains a range of policy actions to be taken by the government in the areas of banking, insurance, enterprise access to finance, credit information, payment system, digital finance, and financial inclusion. The FSDIP was launched in November 2016 by the government of Liberia, working with partners, and the implementation began since 2017. The Central Bank has taken the responsibility for spearheading the provision of financial education in Liberia under its financial inclusion agenda. Working with a broad range of stakeholders, including the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and other development partners, CBL will plan and deliver tailored, targeted, and strategic financial education to the populace of Liberia. As part of the program implementation, a national financial education strategy has already been developed. It provides a practical framework for the actions required by stakeholders across government, business, communities, educational actors to address the challenges associated with the need to strengthen financial education levels in Liberia. By drafting financial education strategy, Liberia joins more than 50 countries around the world that are teaching the people how to manage their finances well. Two studies have so far informed our efforts on the need for financial education in Liberia. A survey conducted in 2013 on financial inclusion found that only 3% of respondents always had sufficient funds to cover their expenses. In January of this year, a baseline study revealed 77% had not received any form of financial education training. In every country distinguished, ladies and gentlemen, being able to manage your money well is an important life skill. Financial education will be of benefit not only to the people who run the country, but to many other institutions, including financial institutions, the government, employers, educators, and non-governmental organizations. In many countries, the strategy is aligned with other national development policies. When people are financially literate, they will be able to take care of their family problems and emergency situations and still be able to invest and grow their finances. This will help to reduce people's vulnerability at economic levels. When people are financially literate, they are likely to make informed decisions regarding their finances and access a range of financial services and products that help them become financially stable. Personal financial management is an important life skill. The purpose of education is to help students to acquire the life skills which they will need as they move into adulthood, and the provision of financial education will help students to gain the important skills. Employees who are in financial difficulties may well be distracted by these worries and therefore be less productive at work, and some of them may be absent from work as a result of stress-related illnesses. Financial education will reduce the risk of employees getting into financial difficulties and should therefore boost productivity. Improvements in people's ability to manage their finances will boost the economy, increase the country's wealth, strengthen financial stability, reduce over-indebtedness, and take some of the people out of poverty. With the support of all our partners and the continued support of this very, very efficient management and board of the Central Bank of Liberia, we are confident, Mr. President and officials of government, that we are prepared to deliver a well-coordinated, strategic, and targeted financial education to the people of Liberia. Thank you.
Let's give the consultancy and a round of applause, please. The financial education program is informed by a baseline report which was conducted some time ago and headed by the Field-Based Journalists Association of Liberia. So at this time, I will welcome Lisa Daisy to present that baseline report. Let's give Madam Daisy a hand, please.
Good morning, Mr. President, all principals of students. The Female Journalists Association of Liberia was elected through a competitive process to roll out the financial education initiative program across Liberia. With its partner Parents Consultancy, we launched the survey, which is the baseline survey, to understand how people will understand their financial knowledge, practices, and also how they can be able to manage their money. So the survey objective is basically to understand how financial knowledge and practices are being used across the country, and also how people borrow, budget, and manage their money as well as reinvest. We also identify financial education needs as to how we can be able to roll out the campaign and also enhance financial literacy across Liberia. The survey, we use the data collection from across the different communities and counties. 48% female participated as respondents and 52% male participated. Obviously, the spectrum of the respondents were across different educational, professional, and religious, cultural backgrounds. We also collected the data from 8 counties. The basis for selecting these counties was because they were having some natural reserves, their sizable population, which you'll be seeing in the next slide, that depicted the value for which we chose Bonk, Grand Asa, Nimba, Grand Chile, Lofa, Maigibi, Montserrat County, and Grand Caymans. The 2022 Liberia National Housing and Population Census, age 18 estimated population that you can see on the board right now, gave us these different numbers. So the adult population is there for each of the counties that you can see vividly. So we use a 95% confidence level against plus or minus 5% margin of error and an estimated proportion of 50% to be able to calculate the overall sample size of the particular respondents in survey. So when we match up the numbers from 2,888,478 people from those 8 counties, the plus and minus error of 5% margin that we used, it was a total of 388. So this is basically the respondents' place of residence, the distribution of respondents by age, and also the distribution of respondents by sex. I earlier presented that we have 48% female and 52% men. For urban, we have 69% of our respondents participating from urban areas, semi-urban areas 18%, and 13% for rural areas. The distribution, obviously, from the age range we have from 18 to 35, telling you that many of the people who participated in the survey were obviously young people and of the age as well. 188% were surveyed, 159% from 35 to 55 years, 41 and above, 56 and above, were 41 people. The education from across the country, those 8 counties, we have 167 respondents representing from the 3%. They have completed high school education. 60% have attained university education, and we have 14 already completing junior high school. We have 12% non-literate. We also have 10% that have received technical training, and we have 5% that have completed primary level education. So this represented a cross-section of people that we talked about. Obviously, when the chair of the financial working group was talking, this particular data, these are key findings we had. 77% of the people we surveyed have indicated to us that they have not received any form of financial education. They were just relying on their self-confidence to be able to manage their money. Hence, the importance of this program. So the 2% have indicated yes, we have received some knowledge. But much more of this, for the 2% people who were responding, they were just relying on their self-confidence and their own traditional measure of keeping their money, managing, and also doing debt. 1% indicated that they just don't remember having any form of education. The respondents' needs, this particular result of the findings suggests a strong demand for foundational educational literacy program, and particularly around managing money, saving, planning, as well as growing interest in more advanced topics like investments and debt management. These are different things that we put across, and these are the percentages. I may not be able to go through more, but I'll just keep it on the slide just for a few seconds so you take a look at it. Thank you. So, basically from the respondents, many of the people across the country intended that when we to roll out this particular financial education and literacy training, we should do it in person. In person will mean that we will have time to ask questions and we will be able to interact directly with those who are experts on the topic across the different communities, counties, and the communities of the towns and villages. So 84% of the respondents indicated that they want in-person via radio programs, and also printed materials will also facilitate that amounted to 6%, and other mobile applications, some other people indicated that they will have the education simply on mobile application. So basically these particular findings suggest that the Central Bank of Liberia, through our partner FIDA and PET, will be rolling out the financial education and literacy campaign in person and that of just other means. But the other means will also be utilized. Based on the findings we presented, there are immediate and short-term initiatives that the Central Bank is advised to take, and these are the measures. We want to develop that in-person financial literacy and training workshop that will be able to help the targeted groups that will be meeting across the country. So key among the findings that we found was that we need to have training on budgeting, saving our money effectively, and setting financial goals, and also investing, because if we do that, we will manage our way around the economic system. We also need to develop training content that bridge the gap between the respondents that sees confidence level. Obviously, across the community, people already perceive how they want to save their money. But is that the real way for us to do it? I think these particular measures will bridge the gap between the perceived confidence level and an actual knowledge of financial matters. We want to also establish for continuous monitoring and evaluation to basically assess the effectiveness of the financial education intervention. Obviously, the campaign is one, but other measures are also important. We'll launch and expand on a nationwide campaign to educate citizens on CBL's responsibility, monetary policy, financial stability, as well as the rules of other financial institutions. It will amaze you to know that many of the people across the country do believe that CBL is a financial institution managing all of them in Liberia. They also reference that the Ministry of Commerce, which they did not know that is basically involved with business, is also managing money as well as other institutions. So Ministry of Finance will also reference and mention that it is the country's giants who save all of their money. But this information we will have to roll out to the community so they understand the distinguished roles and responsibilities of these institutions. So part of the recommendation will be medium and long term. So we don't basically want to have just a short one, but we want to see roll out over time what we can be able to do. Trusted partners and community structures are very vital to this particular structure or means of intervention that we want to do. We also want to do peer led learning networks across the communities, prioritize the different areas where the respondents have created some level. And we also want to develop user-friendly mobile applications and online platform for education or financial education, targeting young and tech-savvy audiences, because our population is growing. We don't want to leave any spectrum of the society. So it is very, very key that we create these different mobile apps in the long term so our young people can come on platform for what we need to do. We need to also develop specific programs for women, youth, and low-income earners focusing on achieving financial independence through employment and entrepreneurship. We want to strengthen and formalize informal saving groups like Susu clubs. That's what we noticed when we surveyed, that there are a lot of different informal groups that are saving money, and also the VSLs are building their capacity to be better record keeper or record keeping, financial planning, internal governance and management, and and as well as access to credit, and they can also be able to pay back that debt. With that said, I want to say thank you very much. This is the report.
Thank you very much. Let's give Madam Daisy another round of applause. She's the president of the Female Journalists Association of Liberia. And this program is being relayed on ELBC radio and is broadcast also on all of the community radio stations throughout the country. We also have television, the internet television, carrying this program live. A lot of our people are listening who may not understand what is happening here. So there's the Dean, Professor Dean, will just briefly, a minute, just summarize what is stated.
Thank you very much. Before I summarize, your clap for that and President for the free baby, your clap for that. When you have a clapping, and then you see found who go to the school and go. Like me, your husband can be scared to me. Your clap for her again. The left one, then she don't go. I'm going to say my letter for the activity or the yeah. But anyway, the reason that we pay for, we raise a single point, so in the interest of the country. And so, everything you want to do, seem to be. The percentage of what they will do. You see now I'm talking. You see it? You see it? You see it? Central bank, they are going to break the money. I have never. I read central banks will be doing big paying like I want that people will say, and I go, they will not be giving you now. Hello? Are you listening? No, but I see what no. Central bank has a great time ahead of me. See where and God will get it. And how will they happy to bring all the you see, what would you do to be kindness of God? I'll help you, yeah? Today, my spirit is going to be free. You're using, get myself away. Hey, use me. You may not get here, whatever you are. But what we do is to see what we're going to copy the people on the commitment, how they save the central bank, and what actually more they save the central bank at home is pray our army, all the countries and pray central bank, then now, because there's a fee at that when you save the bank, this small thing for the whole million, the more people say, the more the bank gets more stronger financially. And that is a financial. No.
Thank you very much. Certainly you can tell that Professor Dean also needs some financial education. Let's welcome someone who eats and drinks Paps. Every time she wakes up, it is all about Paps. Every conversation, even if you are at lunch table, she's talking about Paps. Mrs. Mia Kapowole-Kute is the director of Payment Systems at the CBL. It gives me the greatest pleasure to welcome my friend Mia Kapowole-Kute.
His Excellency President Joseph N. Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Augustine Pehe Gafwan, Minister of Finance, and other ministers here, members of the National Legislature here, distinguished Central Bank governors here, esteemed partners from the Agri-Asset Bank and the Tax Management, leaders of financial institutions, traders, the press, my fellow colleagues from the Central Bank's directors, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor to stand before you today at this official launch of the National Financial Education Program and the rollout of the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System PAPS in Liberia. Today marks a significant milestone for our nation. We are not only launching a comprehensive financial education program, but also embracing a groundbreaking African payments infrastructure, the PAPS, that will transform how we conduct cross-border trade. As Director of the Payment Systems Department, Central Bank of Liberia, I am proud and excited to share how PAPS has strengthened and will continue to strengthen Liberia's financial integration and inclusive growth. PAPS, the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System, is a financial market infrastructure designed for Africa's economic integration. In simple terms, PAPS is a centralized payment and settlement system that enables instant cross-border payments across Africa using local currencies. Instead of converting Liberian dollars to US dollars or euros, or relying on foreign banks as intermediaries, a Liberian business person can pay an exporter in Ghana or any country that has integrated PAPS directly in Liberian dollars. And that country, whether it is Ghana, the Gambia, or other countries that have enabled PAPS, will receive payment in their domestic currency. This system was formally launched in 2022 July in Accra, Ghana, by the African Union, the Afro-Asian Bank, to complement Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Liberia has been an early adopter and strong supporter of the PAPS from its beginning. And this goes back as far as 2016 when we had the Zonal Payment Systems Committee established. The Central Bank has collaborated closely with the PAPS team and the Afro-Asian Bank to integrate these systems into our national payments infrastructure. I am pleased to report on how far we've come. The CBL now serves as the national settlement agent for PAPS in Liberia, meaning our central bank ensures that interbank obligations arising from the PAPS transactions are settled smoothly in Liberian dollars. This was a critical step, and it has positioned Liberia to be fully connected to the rest of Africa on this platform. Equally important, our commercial banks have overwhelmingly joined the PAPS network. And as of today, I'm proud to announce that we have had 8 out of 9 commercial banks that have signed up for PAPS and conducting transactions. Efforts are on the way to complete the process. In practice, this means that Liberian businesses and individuals who bank with these institutions can now access PAPS for cross-border transactions. The banking communities support. The banks understand that this opens a new business opportunity and better service for their clients. We are working with the mobile money operators and fintechs for integration as well. Our intent as a central bank is to ensure that the entire financial sector leverages PAPS. What has PAPS accomplished in Liberia so far? Even before today's official rollout, we have been testing and gradually increasing transactions volumes. And just last year, on landmark, our first landmark transaction was executed via PAPS from Ghana to Liberia, in which a Ghanaian bank remitted payment to a client in EcoBank. The payment in Ghanaian cedi was seamlessly converted to Liberian dollars for the beneficiary, instantly showcasing the power of the system. Since that inaugural transfer, usage has been steadily growing. In 2024 alone, PAPS facilitated transactions totaling 37.7 billion within Liberia, and Liberian dollars 169 million in payments between Liberia and other countries on the continent. These numbers, though still moderate, are very encouraging for a new system, and they represent hundreds of transactions, real Liberian importer buying goods and services from these countries have integrated onto the pass. The central bank's data also show a growing number of small and medium-sized enterprises taking advantage of the pass, which is exactly what we hope for. It is not just for large corporations to benefit, but businesses of all sizes. Our progress on pass implementation has been possible today, thanks to strong partnership. We want to extend our profound gratitude to the Board of Governors, the executive management of the Central Bank for the overall leadership. Our governor sits on the Pass Governance Commission, and we are as well members of the Pass Oversight Committee on the continent. I want to acknowledge the African Bank, the African Import and Export Bank, whose vision and financial support were instrumental in developing a pass for the continent. African Bank, together with the AFTA Secretariat and the African Union, provided the leadership needed to turn the idea of the Pan-African payments and settlement systems into reality. We in Liberia have worked hand in hand with the PASS technical team. Osita is there. And the CEO, under the leadership of the CEO, Mr. Mark Obalu, and other colleagues, to ensure that Liberia's systems are fully interoperable and secure. I want to extend my gratitude to our fellow central banks in the region for the spirit of cooperation and establishing the rules and governance for the past. This has been truly a Pan-African collaborative effort. On the home front, collaboration with commercial banks has been key. The central bank convened several training sessions and technical meetings with our banks to onboard them onto the pass. I thank the leadership of each participating bank for investing in the necessary technology and upgrades that facilitated the training of their staff as well as customers' awareness. We also appreciate our partners in the government, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and other private sector actors who also facilitated championing the deployment of PASS in Liberia. I want to leave you with this personal thought. I genuinely believe that a PASS is more than a payment systems. It is a bridge that connects Liberian entrepreneurs to customers, suppliers in dozens of other countries on the continent. A bridge that will allow a new generation of Liberian businesses to grow beyond our borders. And like any bridge, its value is realized when people boldly walk across it. So I encourage our banks, businesses, traders here to make PASS an everyday platform for usage. Try that first cross-border transactions using Liberian dollars, again leveraging the central bank's approved rate. I assure you, you will be amazed at how smooth it is. The Central Bank of Liberia, as the national settlement agent, will ensure that every PASS transaction is handled with utmost reliability and security. We stand ready to support banks and non-bank financial institutions, as well as customers in utilizing this platform to its fullest. Finally, let me express my gratitude to everyone who made this launch possible. It has been a long time coming. The CBL team, specifically the Payment Systems Department, my colleagues are here, thank you for the support. The IT department as well, supervision, thank you for the support. The CBL team, our partners at African Bank and PASS, the government of Liberia, and all stakeholders present. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Miata Ubarukute. Let's give her another round of applause, please. I'd like to recognize some of my old friends that I see in the audience. I'm not in government anymore, so I hardly know some of the current government officials, but at least I can recognize my friend, Senator Jara. Senator Jara, welcome. And I recognize also the Finance Minister, Minister Gamfuan, welcome. I saw a friend, Denise Dean. She used to be in the auto spare parts business. It was good seeing you. We'll have a short presentation of a perhaps video. They say seeing is believing. So I hope all is set so we can roll out a short video. Thank you.
Quite challenging. Transactions often take several days to process before we want to correspondent banks, which add to the fusion in cost. Additionally, settlements are typically conducted in foreign currencies. However, with the international tax and payment settlement system, the cross-border payments experience is transformed into a seamless journey.
So, pan-African payments and settlement system is a system that now cross-border businesses from one institution to another, riding on the real-time processing system now seen by Central 2016.
One of the problems we need cross-border face of the other country was first the teaching rates. But now Central Bank is trying to put in place where you can deposit your money here now and we enter another country and get the money in the currency. So same last year, Motonaco and tried it. So by the US going up and now we're affecting the cross-border trade now. So now we're going to go trade in transportation. And so now we manage goods. You enter that way, we cannot wait. And when you finish saying you change it, effectively the cross border will be.
Now, the central bank has a very instrumental in introducing apps. So, we were responsible for coordinating the integration of commercial banks with apps. Today, we have had all of the commercial banks integrated with apps. That means customers from the different commercial banks can actually authorize their bank to conduct action from one country to the other. And what the central bank has done is, besides coordinating the integration, we have introduced a legal and regulatory framework surrounding the apps. For any system to be effective, we must have policies, rules, or regulations in place that govern the systems. Because where there are issues surrounding disputes, they have to be settled. The central bank set as the regulator of the payments ecosystem. So we introduced the regulatory framework to allow customers to use apps.
So there was this day that we were in an autumn week for quick transaction, wire transfer. So one of the banks, that is the admin, we usually do our transaction. One of our colleagues there told us to have fast. Because you know how this wire transfer in bank moves that. So it takes 2 to 3 days before the money gets issued, or we need something as faster than that. So that's how we do us the pass.
Central bank gave them a pass. They can't get them a pass, and we spread the messages in credit. But my friend went Guinea, one of the program pass, and she took us our money here. But she went in Guinea, she got it easy. If I say here, for example, if I want a bus to travel, I don't go to the US. One thing I deposit in my account, if I enter the Guinea, I go to the bank, then I will get it in the money. If I deposit the money and go in Africa, I will get it in CFA. If I deposit the money in Liberia and go Ghana, I will get it in Ghana.
So our agent was really something as fast as possible in time of we know something and our agent was actually so we use a lot. They actually help us to make this transfer very easy, very fast, and do the contract. my advice is this. With people who are doing cross directorate, I will ask them to use funds. I will encourage them to use funds because funds is enhancing, a faster way of doing transaction. Especially for those that think that carrying some of money around, I will encourage them to use funds because funds will actually enhance the faster transaction and will also put in place security when it comes to financial security as a matter of fact. So I'm going to encourage you to use funds.
Thank you very much. Let's give yourselves a big hand. And you know when the cross-border lady said when she deposits the money in CDs and goes to Ghana, and then she gets gone, and everyone was like, everyone clapped. That tells me that you all are following very intensely what is happening here. So please give yourself a big hand. The Pan-African Payment Settlement System was established in 2022 by the African Union to provide, if you may, a backbone infrastructure for the continent's free trade area. But long before its establishment, the next speaker I'm about to invite to this podium was well placed to take on this challenging task. He spent the last 2 decades working on digital infrastructure for payments. But perhaps his role as the Chief Executive Officer of PAPS at the African Export-Import Bank in Cairo, Egypt, is the most challenging digital task to date. Who then, ladies and gentlemen, better placed or fit than Mike Ogbalu III to bring to this breaking initiative in Africa? So let's put our hands together as we welcome to the podium with a very warm African welcome, Mr. Mike Ogbalu III.
Thank you so much, and it's always good to be here in Liberia. And as a Nigerian, you know that Nigerians feel very comfortable when they come to Liberia, so I'm delighted to be here. Thank you. His Excellency Joseph Nyama Bokai, President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Augustine Kafwan, Minister of Finance, His Excellency Henry Samoy, Executive Governor of the Bank of Liberia. All other protocols duly observed. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed colleagues, good morning. I would like to begin by observing the protocol and expressing my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency and President of the Republic of Liberia, and the Honorable Henry Samoy, Governor of the Central Bank of Liberia, for all the esteemed members of the Central Bank and all of the hard work that has gone into making this project a reality, and for hosting this important event today. It is an honor to be here with you as we embark on this significant milestone for our continent. Our continent, our founding fathers way back in 1963, they defined a vision for the continent. And in their very first resolution in 1963, they did say that the continent requires a Pan-African payment and clearing infrastructure. So you can imagine the vision in 1963. So today, all of us in this room are builders. So we are now putting effect to that vision that was crafted in 1963. Today we stand at the forefront of a transformative journey with the launch of the National Financial Literacy Program and the official rollout of the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System. These initiatives are instrumental in paving the way for an inclusive economic growth across Africa, and I am excited to share the benefits path forward for the Liberian population. Before I go further, Excellency, I would like to congratulate the Central Bank. We have had a lot of interactions with central banks across Africa. I must tell you that your team, they are very professional, and we have enjoyed a good relationship. Let me start by specifying that PAMS is not merely a payment system. It's a revolutionary financial market infrastructure built to the best of global standards that is enabling seamless and secure financial transactions across Africa. By facilitating cross-border payments instantly in local currency, PAMS empowers businesses and individuals alike, ensuring that remittance and trade become not only accessible, but also efficient. For the people of Liberia, it means that a vendor in Monrovia can easily procure supplies from a supplier in Ghana, all without the hurdles of the foreign exchange conversions, lengthy transaction processes, while concluding the payments instantly. With PAMS, we are not just enhancing trade, we are fostering economic independence. Again, a simple idea that we had is if today, when you travel from Lagos to Monrovia, you don't have to travel to New York first before coming to Monrovia. We don't think money should move that way. So the simple idea is African payments should stay within Africa. Now, this journey didn't come without its own challenges. However, let us not pay too much attention to challenges, because challenges will always come. It is how we surmount those challenges that makes the difference. In Africa, we have long faced challenges around fragmented regional payment systems, a costly intra-Africa remittance system, a high dependence on foreign currencies. The lengthy and costly processes of correspondent banking have stifled trade and economic growth on our continent. These very challenges prompted Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union and the AFCFTA Secretariat, to launch PAMS in 2022. A visionary move aimed at bolstering Africa's sovereignty and economic resilience. And I would like to also announce that the Central Bank of Liberia has been with us on this journey from their inception. And today, the Central Bank of Liberia is one of 15 central banks that sits on our governing council. Today, I am proud to report that PAMS has made remarkable strides across the continent. We now have 16 countries with over 150 commercial banks, 14 switches, which includes 6 national switches that are integrated into the system. Here in Liberia, we are partnered with 8 commercial banks, 8 over 9, so we expect the last bank also to be fully connected, making PAMS available not only at their bank branches, but also through their mobile channels, thus ensuring financial services reach every corner of our communities. PAMS is on a journey towards facilitating cross-border payments throughout Africa. In fact, I want to take this opportunity to highlight that PAMS is a direct result of one of the resolutions made during the first conference of the OAU in May of 1963, which called for the creation of an African Payment and Clearing Union. The OAU has since transformed into African Union, which endorsed PAMS in 2019 as a critical tool for the implementation of the AFCFTA. We are working tirelessly with other African central banks to expand our network further to cover the entire continent. We are in discussions with institutions like the CIAO, which is the Francophone West African Central Bank, with BIAC, the Central African Central Bank, Francophone Central Bank, covering 6 countries and 8 countries respectively, along with others. Together, we are building a unified financial landscape across the continent. Before I conclude, I would like to extend my profound gratitude to the Executive Governor of the Central Bank, and his dedicated team for their unwavering support since the inception of PAMS. I will also wish to recognize the indispensable role of the West African Monetary Institute in this journey. Together, we embrace this moment as a turning point for economic empowerment in Liberia and across Africa. Today, through financial literacy, which is the key pillar for financial services, and the innovative capabilities of PAMS, we can cultivate a future of inclusive economic growth for all. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, one clap for my brother again, clap for my brother. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. And then we and for a very smart going up to this bank and everything. That's one of it. Thank you very much. Anyway, I just want to say the whole path thing easy. Therefore, me and the busy. Again, John, you are part something. Who's come, you finally go to Ghana, to each other, and then you probably go to Ghana, money, plenty, there's now an back to call it from sports, and you go to that. You see, so that I can work with money, you are taking for the because from what I understand, or the contributor from what I so that it go and say, maybe you know that if you be a bank, you be a bank that brings me Ghana, and I'm forced to work with me, go in and come to Ghana, take the job. You see, you don't pay dinner. And for the business people, if you even get bank account, you put the money there, you go and back. You get somebody who can send money to buy your goods. You can ask that person for the account, send it to them, and buy your goods, send it to them. Simple as that. So, what you go up? In that business, they has to be carried in their business 7 days to receive. You want to ask me something?
Yes.
And before you ask me, we just want to record that 4 people are very happy about being second world banking system.
Yes, I'm talking about the fuller community. They did do a lot of this.
Looking for the fuller community. If you full up question here, what are full up community? What all my full up community, I want to say thank you because we the never attention to my brother. We the full up community will contribute very much for the economy. Because for me, I said in the headline, I foresee my money for the bank. For the bank, I for the cheap rate, for we can go, save this, and for the bank. So for saving plenty money for the economy, and we continue to go respect for our economy. And for first one, I don't forget to pay the already.
The Lebanese people too are a major force in our economy.
Yeah, the Lebanese people in the country here, we very in the business. We go in the one side, in the very material here, the Lebanese builder of the country. You know, I said the builder here, I said the builder, he said, in what happened? In what happened, he go in the UBA, he go in the airport, he go to the RP, he go to the central bank, the RPR, with the Lebanese, he have all that. Because the economy here in the very material, the steel law, everything you do in the one. So very good. I want to take with the Lebanese here.
Yes, see, I mean, I'm just that's something. That's something. This man who they can get different business out there. So today, I can be happy for once. Or the president can be here just now. I can call him and go get me from our president just now. Mr. President, we can be to a strong business and go to a strong over I want to put them in drop the press on the rate from Kodak to post. Get our can be the so agree.
What was happening? I'm telling you, president. If he answers your president, I'm working with all three of you.
Obviously, let's get you ahead. Always pushing some agenda. You know, whenever there is a change at the helm of any institution, there's nervousness amongst the staff. So when my next speaker was named as the acting governor, understandably, people were nervous. Because usually when there's a change, there's misplacement, displacement, and all of that. But when he came in, he said, just do your job. Do your job. The rest will follow. And that's exactly what he's done. This is why it gives me the greatest honor to welcome to the microphone the governor, executive governor of the Central Bank of Liberia, Mr. Honorable Henry F. Samoa, to address the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Badio. Your Excellency, Ambassador Joseph Wakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, the Minister of Finance, and other cabinet ministers here present, the Chairman of the Senate and House Committees on Banking and Currency, and members of the legislature here present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the members of the Board of Governors of the Central Bank of Liberia, our development partners, the IMF, the World Bank, the African Development Bank, the UNDP, the IFC, commercial bank executives, the President and members of the Labor Business Association, the President and members of the Labor Chamber of Commerce, the President and members of the Labor Marketing Association, the President and members of the Labor Insurance Association, members of the Hope Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Board of Governors and the entire Central Bank of Liberia family, I am delighted to extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you on this historic occasion marking the joint launch of Liberia's Financial Education Program and the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems, PAPS. This event marks a significant milestone in our commitment to fostering a financially inclusive and technologically advanced economy. Financial education and digital payment system are twin pillars of economic empowerment, equipping citizens with knowledge while providing them with the tools to transact efficiently within Liberia, across the African continent, and beyond. Before proceeding any further, let me take this moment to recognize and appreciate the dedication and support of our esteemed partners, namely the Office of Technical Assistance of the U.S. Treasury for its continuous support, the World Bank and the African Development Bank for their commitment to financial inclusion and economic development, the Ministries of Finance, Education, and Gender for integrating financial literacy into their national development frameworks, the Female Journalists Association, FIJA, for its role in promoting financial awareness, and PEP Consultancy for conducting the critical research that inform our strategic direction. Your contributions are invaluable, and we look forward to strengthening our collaboration as we move forward. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, financial literacy is more than a concept. It is a driver for national prosperity. An informed population makes better financial decisions, leading to economic resilience and sustainable development. A recent baseline study in 8 of Liberia's 15 counties, as presented here earlier on, revealed that 77% of our respondents had never received financial education. That is concerning. They also identify budgeting, saving, and investing as top learning priorities. 84% of those respondents preferred in-person training for better engagement. We think that that is cardinal and that gap needs to be addressed. It is in response to these findings that the Central Bank, in partnership with FIJA, is rolling out financial literacy training across these 8 counties, utilizing community workshops with local entrepreneurs and financial experts, radio programs, town criers, and drama groups to engage rural populations, and engagement with market women, motorbike riders, and youth groups to ensure grassroots impact. This initiative, Mr. President, will be expanded across the entire country, ensuring that every Liberian, regardless of location, has access to financial education. Your Excellency, at the CBL, we are excited to inform you that our financial sector is undergoing a massive transformation driven by digital payment systems. Over the past year, we have witnessed remarkable growth in mobile money and digital transactions, reinforcing the critical role of technology in financial inclusion. Mobile money transactions surged to 471 billion in 2024, up from 421 billion in 2023. US dollar transactions via mobile money reached 3.47 billion in 2024. Cross-border transaction, which is a key component of PAPS, grew by 17.7% in 2024, reaching about 494.5 billion. Liberia now has more than 3 million active mobile money subscribers, making it the dominant form of electronic payment in the country. This evolution in digital payment is a direct result of the CBL's policy focus to optimize technology for financial inclusion and economic growth. Our efforts to modernize Liberia's financial system are yielding tangible results, bridging the gap between traditional banking and digital finance. Your Excellency, today's event is more significant as we officially launch PAPS in Liberia. This system is a game changer for our intra-African trade, providing businesses with the ability to transact across borders seamlessly and efficiently in local currencies. I must stress that transactions are allowed in local currencies, so you do not have to put pressure on the US dollars for transactions on the African continent. PAPS thus eliminates reliance on third-party currencies. It reduces transaction costs for businesses and consumers. If you go out today to buy US dollars, to wire money to Ghana, you will be paid in excess of 200 to $1 US. If you use PAPS, you will pay far less than that. PAPS will help in minimizing the exchange rate volatility, thereby stabilizing the economy. It will also accelerate trade by streamlining payment settlements, as settlements are almost instant. Mr. President, between the period June to December 2024, PAMS transactions in Liberia reached approximately 37.7 million, with outbound transactions totaling about 169.5 million. However, to fully harness this potential, we must drive awareness and adoption. The reason we're here today. To this end, CBL is launching a 9-month nationwide PAPS awareness campaign targeting commercial banks to facilitate integration and usage, cross-border traders and SMEs to enhance their trade capabilities, and border communities and economic zones to strengthen regional commerce. We are committed to working with Afri-Exim Bank and other central banks to ensure that Liberia is an active participant in the continent's financial integration. We will continue to leverage strong partnerships for driving a digital economy. Distinguished guests, today's launch is further strengthened by the commitment of two visionary African leaders. One, His Excellency President Joseph Jomo Boakai Sr., whose leadership is supportive of economic reforms, financial stability, and inclusive growth. And Professor Dr. Benedict Orama, President of Afri-Exim Bank, who is represented here by the CEO of PAPS, Mr. Mark Balu, whose unwavering commitment to African trade and financial innovation has been instrumental in the success of PAPS. To Professor Orama, we deeply appreciate Afri-Exim Bank's support, not only in financing PAPS, but also in fostering economic diversification and trade across Africa. The CBL stands ready to collaborate fully in this initiative. As a call to action, let me affirm the CBL's full commitment to these two landmark programs. Financial education and digital payments are not just initiatives. They are the foundation for a stronger, more inclusive drivers of sustainable economic development. To our small, medium, and large business communities, I urge you to embrace financial literacy. I encourage you to take charge of your financial future, and I implore you to leverage PAPS to explore more business opportunities. To our partners, let us continue working together to ensure Liberia's full participation in Africa's digital payment transformation. Your Excellency, as I conclude, today is a defining moment for Liberia's financial sector. With the CBL's focus on financial education for empowering our people and PAPS connecting us to the rest of Africa through cross-border payments, I can confidently assure that Liberia's economic future in trade is very bright. But let me also warn that these prospects can only be realized when we seize this opportunity to think Liberia for inclusive growth, build Liberia through enhanced financial stability, and launch Liberia as a key player for supporting digital economic transformation for macroeconomic stability. Thank you, and may God bless our efforts.
Yo creo que government yo be grabbing the assistant. Wow. You know, the governor spoke, he said something about providing intensive education, encouraging people how to see. Imagine me to the team. They choose me and say, senior person, go far. Go get the education you have. Encourage me to say, and income for you. See me teaching my man. So let me tell you something. The intention that we keep. I want to follow the intention. You know, sometimes the president, I will be wondering, what you get easy. You know what? Because what is people are doing, it's in the tongue. Let me tell you, you want to go to one church, pastor preaching. Say, I want to know you. They gave up on me. So I want to encourage everybody in return. Anything looking from your surrounding income can into you. You must get 100%. I always say, get money, I don't always say, I'm going to work is hard for capital things. Say, what? 10% was see, inside there. Imagine educating I know nothing will be the single that we have to cover it on you. That's true. But on a serious note,
Yeah, please, time. We're running out of time, so please. Yeah, please call the culture.
So on a serious note, before I say, I want you to see because you know when you're speaking, you can be so full on point. You know that somebody ever eating chocolate. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to call on one of Liberia's renowned and versatile entertainer who somebody we have seen from our baby time. Some of us we see them, we were able to see them, we saw their work, we came on the scene, so forth and so forth. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together as we invite for a drama presentation. We'll call on the culture ambassador in person of Ambassador Kekula Kamara, who will introduce his team for a special drama display. Please put your hands together for the culture ambassador.
Mr. President, Governor, Minister of Finance, let me say all protocol observed. Yeah. Mr. President, last week, Facebook laughed on me. Real laugh. The people say, the culture ambassador say, he not get no support, he coming, resign. I say, what? Me resign? I was doing my pro bono work from the time 1970 in the culture sector. I've been promoting, I've been dancing, I've been acting. Everybody knows I in Liberia. But they lie on me, they say, if government not supporting me, I can go back to the Lama man. To go to Lama way. Hey, yeah, my people. Facebook and Lao. Mr. President, I told you that something inside the year. And I know something inside. Because my presence here alone means that something inside, they ask a culture ambassador job. Let me thank the Minister of Finance, the Central Bank, for making sure that the artists are present at this kind of occasion. Those are the things the President wants us to do to promote arts and culture in Liberia. The person, the government not doing anything about Central Bank, Ministry of Finance already opened my account. I will send that account number to all of y'all. Yeah, I got it. So I want to thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for the honor, the lifetime honor for me. The Arts and Culture Ambassador job, lifetime honor, yeah, press. You tell your people there that can, post. Before you post, ask the other man whether the story is true. Nobody asked me, and the post said, "Thank you, Mr. President, something inside." That's how we can call each other now. Something inside, Mr. President. The drama is here. We're talking about financial. The drama is self-explanatory. And we are part of this campaign to go out to make sure that the Liberian people are educated to this arrest agenda. That's number one priority for my office. Mr. President, we got a letter in front of your desk right now talking about National Arts and Cultural Conference that will bring a policy that will govern the arts and culture sector in Liberia. You're ready for your desk. We're coming to you so we can talk about it. Thank you so much, the drama team on stage.
Imagine something very convincing me. Yeah, my guy said, I won't go back. But then, like Guinea, I won't go back to change the money to the Guinea people money. I'm not even, Papa, see my phone. I get it.
On the issue. On the issue. Man, say I don't buy a gym. I said, oh, go back. But people say, I will change the money to the people who know money. And the government here now go around. That can't what you do.
One day, greatest
not here, no yell.
Oh, our sister. No, now.
What are you going to explain?
Over.
Okay.
Eh?
I mean, yo.
That's all you want. If I go in and I want to say that.
Some people are very nice. Some people
they're coming here. I won't go back my kid. But like Guinea, I won't go. But let's have a go for money, Guinea money. You know, where have money, Guinea money? Yeah, I won't feel money yet.
You don't know. First, I'm supposed to tell you. There's all the people here. There's everybody here. They're more happy. To the central bank, supposed to be launching 2 big programs.
That's what you.
Don't listen now. Don't listen. The 2 big programs, one has to do with financial education. Don't worry, you know it yet. And what is it? Okay.
So, if financial education program is talking about, and this is not a motion on that today the motion happen. Yes. Again, today again, the motion the first one. The program here will be teaching us how to manage our own money. The program will help all of us here to understand how to manage our own money better. Yes. It will teach us how to manage our own money, how to budget our own money, take care, and even how to invest or save our own money. So that tomorrow we take care today. Because we are looking to oil, we take care today tomorrow. The more money, you think you have to pay our rent. That makes yes. So the central bank will also be working with the Ministry of Education to teach a financial education in schools to our students. They will not be teaching them or we in the market. Our parents and people may have to save them. So the people will be teaching them how to save them. I know that sister. You save 2 programs. But we don't know what
I tell you, you'll get it later. No need to worry. No need to worry. Now they call it Pan-African Payment System. No, you will come back. Welcome, close. You know what I mean, if I want to go to Guinea, I will go to Serbia. Yeah, then you easy. All the central bank say, we pay it anyway.
Yeah, well, you be, I know you be there or gonna be there.
Okay, anyone you be your access what you do. Everybody you be your access bank. Some people are saving with your ear. Oh, you money here. I want to go to agriculture. What the people do, you just call the part of agriculture. You pay attention to you call the part of agriculture. Yeah, man, I want to go to agriculture. I say, over 100,000 like that. You don't have to look for like export exchange. All you do, all you put on that side, and your partner, you get change your like that to avoid money. And avoid from the get change, you go to get buy your food, that's your food. No need to struggle for US salary. So it be easy for you to work there for your goods.
My brother. Now, who knows the topic now? We will go in a very busy. There's simple. But I want to ask you, we will more about it till you get more. Okay. The Central Bank of Liberia will post it in newspaper. Newspaper will carry it. Social media will carry it. Even the community radio stations, national radio stations will carry it. Central Bank will reach out to people who want to watch that. Yes. For everybody, even the night that we do the students, for everybody, about this thing. You will lay out the paper so hard, we say, I like prayer with my who's on the country. So, I really don't want to know your PTK money. So, you're just saying your money when I find that prayer, they pay for the travel, the lot of things down there. Yeah, but they will get rid of the person that buy your who's give their money, then they will buy your who's get sit down to you. So, that way, making everything easy. I don't get that, you. Yeah, money will sit down in my hand. Keep listening to our radio stations, listening to our news, or reading newspaper to get more updates on Central Bank and that is very big. My people, when you tell the people about the program, Central Bank. See that? Thank you, Central Bank people. Listen to what you know, and people get more updates for all. That the people can make it easy. Central Bank.
Well, thank you very much. You're proud for that. Yeah, anything I do, it will do. We all like this one, and I say, get the answer. Anything to the king. The meaning we have, if you go to the other looking at me, go to the other, say the go again, go and you love me. Yeah, all about me. My brother will get old school. Let's be a happy. But you don't have any I'm busy. You're doing something, you are going to get me back for you. You're getting smart, hold it. So I'll take that. It's going to be the people who are kept out there. So, when you stay for remarks, then we take a remark from some of the Central Bank international partners, and to begin with, we would like to call on a representative from the country director for the World Bank in person of Georgia William. Sorry, I'm going to be working. When you're praying for the World Bank, I'm telling you, from here,
Georgia Wallet.
Wallet, man. Okay. And yeah, man. I'm being
I will take if Georgia is not here.
We taking a representative from the World Bank for remark, please. IMC. Come on.
Thank you. So Georgia is not around today, but on behalf of the IFC, would like to make this important remark. His Excellency, Honorable Jose Imaboka, President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Minister of Finance, Honorable Kosi Kwika, Central Bank Governor, Diplomatic Corps President, member of the diplomatic community. We are very excited to be here today. Thank you for inviting us to this very important occasion as the launch of the National Financial Education strategy, as long as the improvement of the Pan-African settlement payment. This is a very good initiative, as the past representative mentioned. Since 1963, these have been enforced, but it was just re-emphasized in 2019 at the 13th National Summit of the AU, where we represent a key component of African Continental Free Trade Agreement. We are excited as IFC because of the private sector initiative to have businesses and everyone else connected, to facilitate trade, free cross-region drug settlement across regions. And it's a very important initiative for us to ensure that payment systems and infrastructure are enhanced. We also like to acknowledge that IFC, we have been supporting the initiative of the government since 1965, as you saw investment in the LPDR Bank, and we continue to do so. We run 2 advisory projects with the Central Bank of Liberia. As the governor actually testified, they have been uptaking of mobile money and digital credit payments. Our project, funded by CEDA, has been facilitating and working with the Central Bank. I would like to thank the team for such an initiative. And also, we are working with the Central Bank on a project on secure transaction collateral registry. That is a very important one to also contribute to the data infrastructure that you see here today. That facility collateral registry as well, allowing movable and immutable assets into the registry system. So we are excited about this event, and thank you so much. But also want to acknowledge that the educational aspect is a very key component of this thing. Because if you talk with the financial institution and the banking sector, you find that even when people try to take access to credit, they do not know how to manage the finances. Even if they don't know, that's a problem in facilitating the repayment aspect. So that is prohibiting and putting a lot of structure to the banking sector and the financial sector. So we are excited about this event. So thank you, His Excellency. We are standing by and willing to support the governor. Thank you so much for inviting us to the event, and we're looking forward to more engagement in the coming months.
I tell you what you're going to do. You're not going to do. He's coming for you. You're coming soon. Coming soon. Come tomorrow, you say, don't get up about you and you're already getting. You see it? Yeah, well, thank you very much. If you want to talk, you see, if you say, I'm sorry, I didn't anything about you in this station. You have to say, if I want to look for what you did, you want to read your TV, you got stuff, and you have to raise it and what are you talking about? It's not. We move on to the next